You know, it's kind of wild. You can have this incredibly powerful, genius-level AI, and then watch it completely fail a math problem a 10-year-old could solve. So today, we're going to dig into that puzzle. We're going to unlock the secret to AI reasoning. And believe it or not, it all comes down to a really simple trick in how you talk to it.
All right, so first up, AI's reasoning problem. And really, how can a super smart AI fail such a simple test? Let's dive right in with a puzzle to show you what I mean. Imagine we take one of these big, powerful AI language models, and we give it a basic, grade school math problem. Now this seems almost too simple, right? But it actually reveals this huge fundamental challenge in AI, which is all about reasoning.
So check this out. On the left, we use what's called standard prompting. We just ask the question straight up. The cafeteria had 23 apples, and so on. And the AI, well, it confidently gives us the answer, 27, which is just wrong. But now look at the right. We make one tiny little tweak to how we ask the question, and something amazing happens. Not only does it nail the correct answer, which is 9, but it perfectly lays out its step-by-step logic to get there. It shows its work.
So, what changed? I mean, really, what on earth happened here to make the AI suddenly so much smarter? Because here's the kicker. The AI model itself is exactly the same in both examples. The only thing that changed was how we prompted it. That's it.
And that brings us to the breakthrough, this idea of thinking step by step. The answer to our puzzle is a really simple but honestly profound technique called chain of thought prompting. And what's so cool about it is that it's not about reprogramming the AI at all. It's about teaching it how to think.
So what exactly is chain of thought prompting? Well, think about it like this. Instead of just giving the model a question and the final answer, we show it a few examples that include all the messy intermediate steps. You know, the reasoning it takes to get there. It is exactly like your old math teacher telling you to show your work. We're not just telling it the destination, we're giving it the roadmap.
Okay, so here's how it works. First, you feed the model a couple of examples, but these aren't just Q&A pairs. They include that detailed step-by-step process. Second, the model starts to pick up on the process itself, not just the final answer. It's learning to mimic the reasoning. And then the magic happens. When you give it a totally new problem, it doesn't just jump to an answer. It first generates its own chain of thought, its own step-by-step plan, and then it gives you the final answer. It learns how to break a big problem down into smaller, manageable chunks.
Okay, now we get to what I think is the most surprising, kind of mind-blowing part of this whole discovery. This is about what's called an emergent ability. See, this amazing technique, it's not some universal trick you can use on any AI. It only seems to work on the really, really big ones. Just look at this chart. It tells the whole story. For the smaller models, the ones with around 8 billion parameters, using chain of thought actually makes them worse. Their performance literally drops. But look at the biggest models, like Palm with over 500 billion parameters. Their performance doesn't just get a little better, it absolutely skyrockets. We're talking from less than 18% accuracy all the way up to almost 57%. That's not just a small improvement. That's what the researchers call an emergent ability. It's like a superpower that just appears out of nowhere once the model gets big enough.
And that 57% number, let's just put that into perspective for a second. That wasn't just a good score. That was a brand new state-of-the-art record on a super challenging math benchmark called GSM-8K. I mean, this model, just by being prompted differently, suddenly started beating other models that were specifically fine-tuned and trained for this exact kind of math. And the craziest part? The key wasn't more data or more training, it was just having a better conversation with it.
All right, so it's clear this works for math, but here's where it gets even more interesting. This isn't just about making AIs better calculators. It turns out this same technique unlocks all sorts of other reasoning skills. Common sense, symbolic logic, stuff that has always been incredibly hard for machines to get right.
Take a look at this common sense reasoning example. The question is it plausible that Joao Moutinho caught the screen pass in the NFC Championship? A standard AI might get confused, but with chain of thought, look what it does. It reasons. Wait a minute, Joao Moutinho is a soccer player. The NFC Championship is American football. Those two things don't go together. So the answer is no. It connects these totally separate pieces of world knowledge step by step to figure it out. And it's not just world knowledge. It can also handle these weird, abstract, symbolic puzzles, like this one. Take the last letters of the words in Lady Gaga and concatenate them. Now that seems super simple to us, right? But for an AI manipulating individual letters based on abstract rules, that's actually really, really tricky.
And sure enough, with a standard prompt, it usually messes this up. But with a chain of thought, it just breaks it down. Last letter of lady is Y. Last letter of Gaga is A. Put them together, you get Ya. Flawless.
So, this all brings us to the big question, the final takeaway. We're unlocking this latent power. What does this all mean? Why is a simple tweak in how we talk to an AI such a huge deal?
Well, here's the bottom line. The truly crucial point is that we can unlock these incredible hidden abilities in AI models that already exist. We don't have to spend a fortune or months of time retraining them. All we have to do is learn to communicate with them more intelligently. It lets them break down huge problems into small, manageable steps, and, maybe even more importantly, it gives us a window, a peek inside the model's thinking process. It's not a black box anymore. This makes the whole thing more transparent, easier to understand, and easier to fix when it goes wrong. And it works across the board. Math, common sense, symbolic stuff. It's a game changer.
And that really leaves us with a pretty provocative final thought, doesn't it? I mean, if prompting is this powerful, if just changing how we ask a question can unlock this much untapped potential, it makes you wonder, what else are these AIs capable of? What other incredible dormant abilities are just sitting there inside these massive models, waiting for us to ask the right question to start the right conversation?